Sairam students, and welcome back. In the last class, we were doing the lesson 3, that is the little girl. Now what we saw in that was about this little girl named Kezia, who was very scared of her father, so scared that she was not even able to speak to him or communicate with him. She used to not even face him and look at him and speak to him, and she used to stutter when she had to talk to him something. Also, she was very scared of his huge figure, and she compared her father to a giant because he had huge hands and neck, and his mouth was quite big when he yawned. So she was very scared of him. However, she was very close to her grandmother, and it was her grandmother who suggested her to gift her father a pin cushion for his birthday. So she was very thrilled and very happy to make this gift for her father and felt that he would really be very happy with the gift. But unfortunately, in order to make this pin cushion, she tore all the papers that were the speech of her father for the Port Authority, and she had stuffed all these tiny pieces into the cushion so that she could make the gift. This was very unfortunate because father was really angry with her. This is what we saw in the last class. Now what happens next? We would learn in this session. Before that, a very gentle reminder to keep a book and a pen ready so that you could note the important points. So students, let's continue now what happened after that. Now she was asked to go back to her room and sleep because he was really very angry with her. Now what happened? Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room, watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Shadowed meaning it was very poorly lighted, and she could feel the entire evening being very sad. It was very dull as it was also poorly lit. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. "I'm going to beat you for this," he said. "Oh, no, no," she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So she was on the bed crying that how she could explain her surprise. At the same moment, father came down to hit her because he was really furious. But she tried to hide herself under the bedclothes. He pulled them aside. "Sit up," he ordered, "and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you." But it was for your birthday. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. He was very angry. He pushed aside the bedclothes and asked her to sit erect and to hold out her hands. He also told her that she shouldn't be touching things which does not belong to her. But she pleaded, telling him that it was for his birthday that she was trying to make something. However, father was not in a position to listen to her, so he gave her a beating on her little pink arms. He beat her with the ruler. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. She was so scared that when grandmother came and wrapped her in the shawl, because she was actually trembling with fear, she clung to her body, that is, held out tightly to grandmother. "What did God make fathers for?" she sobbed. Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You will forget all about it in the morning. She was so scared and so sad that she felt, why did God actually make fathers? Because he is not at all considerate, he is not loving, he has hit her. So she was very sad and she was sobbing. However, grandmother pacified her, consoled her, telling that you go to sleep, you would forget everything by the next morning. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both her hands back and a red color flew into her cheeks. So she was trying to explain to her grandmother that father never listened to her previous night. However, the next time when she saw him, she automatically put her hands back and was really scared to even look at him. Her cheeks turned red because she was very scared. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father with the baby Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on to his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. So there was this family which lived next door, the McDonalds. They had 5 children, and Kezia used to watch them playing with the father. Father used to play with all the children, with all of them moving around in the garden, and she used to find it very amusing. And she saw that they used to even turn on the hose on him and tried to catch and laugh all the time. So they were really very happy. So she was really wondering why her father was not like the McDonalds. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of father, that there are different types, different kinds of fathers who exist in this world. She decided upon this. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill and she and grandmother went to hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. So she had decided that there were different kinds of fathers. One day when her mother was ill, her grandmother had to accompany her mother to the hospital. She was left alone with Alice, the cook. So she was comfortable during the daytime staying alone at home because her father was away at work. But she was really scared when it was night. And Alice was trying to put her to bed, but she was really afraid because her father was home and she was really worried what he would do. What would his reaction be? What will I do if I have a nightmare? What's a nightmare? It's a very frightening dream or an unpleasant dream that you have. She asked. I often have nightmares and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. Whispery means scary. So she was telling Alice that what if she gets a nightmare or a bad dream? She used to often get these dreams, and at that time Granny used to take her close to her and comfort her, and that would console her. But she was very scared to stay in the dark all alone. She was very frightened. "You just go to sleep, child," said Alice, pulling off her socks, "and don't you scream and wake your poor pa." So Alice also instructed her, telling that you go to sleep silently and don't scream and wake your father, because he is sleeping in the other room. So don't try to wake up your father. You try to sleep very peacefully. But the same old nightmare came. The butcher with a knife and a rope. Who is a butcher? Is a person who kills animals for their flesh. So she used to have this kind of a nightmare where the butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile, while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, "Grandma, Grandma!" She woke shivering to see her father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. So she had often had these kind of nightmares where she saw a butcher who had a knife in his hand and a rope, who would come near her and give a very dreadful smile, a very dangerous smile. And at that time, she would just yell out to her grandma, who would come down and console her. But at that point, when she woke up shivering, she saw her father near her bed and he had a candle in his hand. "What's the matter?" he said. So he came down next to her and asked her what happened. Why was she screaming? "Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny." She was still in that phase where she was seeing the nightmare. So she felt that the butcher was there with a knife and yelled that she wanted her granny. He blew out the candle, bent down and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. He lay down beside her. So what? He blew the candle and he caught the child. He took the child in his arms and carried her to the bigger bedroom. That is maybe his bedroom. And he made space in the bed and laid her down on the bed and tried to console her. Tucked up, which was covered up nicely. So he bent down and put this child in the bed and he too laid down beside her. So he was trying to show that concern for his daughter in the absence of the grandmother. Half asleep still with a butcher's smile all about her, it seemed, she crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Snuggled, she tried to move into a comfortable position very close to a person. She was so scared and she still was seeing that particular smile, that dreadful smile of the butcher, that she snuggled very close to her father and tried to hold him tight. She held his shirt very tightly because she was literally shivering with fear. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Then she found it a little comfortable and her fear was disappearing slowly. So she laid down very still. "Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm," said father. So father was now trying to relieve her tension. He was trying to make her warm because she was almost cold with fear because of her nightmare. So father was now showing the concern for his daughter. He was trying to rub the feet against his legs and make her warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be a MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. So, here, before she could sleep, her father slept off because he was really tired after the full day's work. So, at this point, a different feeling came into the girl, that is Kezia. She felt that her father was, after all, not that bad. He was really tired. Also, he was very comfortable. He was very good to her and tried to console her, but he too was really tired because he did not have that much time like the McDonald's. So he had to work really hard the full day. Also, she felt really bad that she had torn up all his beautiful writings, that is, the speech that he had made for the Port Authority. Suddenly, she moved, stirred meaning moved, and sighed. She took a deep breath, saying that, "Oh, father, you are not that bad like what she had thought him to be." "What's the matter?" asked her father. "Another dream?" "Oh," said the little girl, "my head's on your heart. I can hear it going." "What a big heart you've got, father dear." So when she was moving and taking deep breaths, father again asked her whether she had another dream. He was really considerate about her, but she said that she could hear his heartbeat because her head was on his heart as she had clung to his body. And she finally remarked, saying that he really had a very big heart. He was a real lovable father, a very good father, because he came down and comforted her in the absence of mother and grandmother. So here we can see the total transformation or the change in the feelings of Kezia towards her father, where she was initially very scared and very frightened to even look at her father. Here she was really happy that he was the best, because she found that though he was a little strict, he was very caring and loving towards her. So we can see that most of our parents, though are very strict with us at times, they really care for us, they really love us. So with this story, or with this in this lesson, the writer actually is trying to express what is this bonding between children and their parents. So finally there was a change in Kezia's mind about her father, the feelings she had about her father. There was total transformation of the feelings from fear to a very loving one. Okay students, I hope you have understood the lesson. Now let's go through the value points. You can just note them down. This will give you an idea about the entire lesson, what we have done. You can just go through them, make a note of the same in your books. It will have points related to Kezia, her grandmother, the parents, the gift that she tried to give. What exactly was the confusion when she tore the papers of his speech to make the pincushion, and how she was actually jealous of her neighbors, that is the maternal family, whom she felt that gave a lot of time to the children. Just make a note of these, students. And also how the impression or the feelings about her father changed, transformed at the end, where Kezia was really happy that her father was a very lovable one who had a very big heart. I hope you have noted down these value points of the lesson and understood the lesson well. Now after this you will be taken to a link where you have to answer the questions that are given and submit the same in that link. Thank you.